In this video, you're going to uncover the full truth behind the biggest Ranger swaps in Power Rangers history. From heroes who walked away at their peak, to shocking sacrifices, clones, accidents, manipulation, disputed leadership, and even replacements that probably should have never happened. None of it was simple, and every change hides a surprising reason. Stick around until the end to see which Rangers were replaced and why. Jason Lee Scott, Zack Taylor, and Trini Kwan were three of the very first Mighty Morphin Power Rangers chosen by Zordon when Rita Repulsa escaped her lunar prison and attacked Earth. Jason became the Red Ranger, the team's leader, piloting the Tyrannosaurus Dinozord. Zack took on the role of the Black Ranger, drawing power from the Mastodon. Trini became the Yellow Ranger, connected to the saber-toothed Tigerzord. Throughout the first two seasons, they fought side by side with Billy, Kimberly, and later Tommy, facing monsters, challenges, and growing stronger as a true team of heroes. In episode 22, we are introduced to Rocky DeSantos, Adam Park, and Aisha Campbell. They're young martial arts competitors at a tournament. It's clear they're all physically skilled, but what catches Zordon's attention is their character. They genuinely care about helping others. Over time, the three of them prove they have exactly the kind of heart and integrity a Ranger needs. Episode 24 is especially important. They help the Rangers during a dangerous situation even without any powers or Zords. They fight putties with nothing but their own skills and help civilians escape danger. It shows they're not looking for credit. They just do the right thing. These moments work as a natural test, showing Zordon and Alpha that Rocky, Adam, and Aisha are trustworthy and ready for something bigger. Eventually, they're brought to the command center, where they finally learn the Rangers' true identities. By episode 27, Jason, Zack, and Trini are selected to attend the World Peace Conference. To make sure the team stays strong and the Rangers' powers aren't lost, Zordon and Alpha 5 use the Sword of Light, an artifact capable of transferring a Ranger's power to another person without weakening the Morphin grid. Then, in episode 28, Rocky, Adam, and Aisha receive a direct invitation from Zordon to become the new defenders of Earth. The power transfer happens, marking one of the most iconic moments in the series. Jason passes the Tyrannosaurus power to Rocky, making him the new Red Ranger. Zack transfers the Mastodon power to Adam, now the new Black Ranger. Trini passes on the saber-toothed tiger power to Aisha, who becomes the new Yellow Ranger. The three accept the responsibility with respect and excitement, knowing their continuing an important legacy. This change highlights something essential in the franchise. Being a Ranger isn't just about having powers or knowing how to fight. It's about courage, honesty, teamwork, and the desire to help others. Rocky, Adam, and Aisha prove that new heroes can rise when the previous ones must move on, and that the Ranger mantle always finds people worthy of carrying it. This transition became the first true passing of the torch in Power Rangers history, paving the way for many more changes that would come in the years ahead. Tommy Oliver, now the White Ranger, was already one of the team's most important heroes when Lord Zed and Rita came up with a way to defeat the Power Rangers without having to face them directly. In the Return of the Green Ranger arc from Mighty Morphin's second season, they used the Wizard of Deception to create a perfect clone of Tommy. Using a single strand of Tommy's hair, the wizard creates Tom Oliver, a clone built from Tommy's DNA. He's given the Green Ranger powers and is completely controlled by the villains. Tom starts by tricking the Rangers, pretending he received orders from Zordon, and helps the wizard send the entire team back in time to Colonial Angel Grove. This leaves only Tommy in the present to fight him. The two battle, with Tom believing he was created to replace and destroy the original. Under evil influence, he even summons the Dragon Zord and unleashes chaos on Angel Grove. Tommy manages to steal the Wizard of Deception's wand, travels back in time, and rescues his friends. When he returns to the present, Tommy defeats the wizard and breaks the spell controlling his clone. Tom finally regains consciousness and realizes what he's done. Filled with regret, he calls off the Dragon Zord's attack. After that, Tom and Tommy travel together to the past to defeat a group of rat monsters that were attacking the townspeople. Since the two can't exist in the same time period, Tom chooses to remain in colonial Angel Grove, deciding to live a life of doing good and also giving up the Green Ranger powers. Kimberly Ann Hart was the very first Pink Ranger of the Mighty Morphin Power Rangers, chosen by Zordon for her courage, agility, and compassion. She piloted the pterodactyl Dinozord and was one of the team's most important members, always balancing strength with heart. The transition begins when we meet Catherine Hillard in Season 3. At first, she's manipulated by Rita Repulsa and even transformed into a cat monster, as seen in Episode 18. But with the Rangers' help and Ninjors, the spell controlling her is eventually broken. When Kimberly, in Episode 25, decides to pursue her gymnastics career and train for the Pan-Global Games, Zordon needs someone trustworthy to carry on the Pink Ranger legacy. Kimberly personally chooses Kat, who had already proven her worth by helping the team several times even without powers. Kimberly then transfers her energy to Catherine, who becomes the new Pink Ranger, taking on the pterodactyl and her place on the team with responsibility and dedication. Prey of Triforia is the first Gold Ranger and the Lord of the planet Triforia. During the battle against the Machine Empire, he's injured by Varrock's bounty hunters in Episode 32 of Power Rangers Zeo. Because of the injury, Trey can't keep his three forms unified and needs to temporarily pass on the gold powers to someone else. That's when Jason Lee Scott, the legendary first Red Ranger, returns at a moment when the team needs him most. In Episode 33, Trey transfers the Gold Ranger energy to Jason, who takes up the mantle. In his very first fight, Jason faces enemies alone to buy the Zeo Rangers enough time to assemble the Zeo Power Cannon. With his black and gold suit and the golden power staff, Jason becomes a crucial part of the team. However, by Episode 50, the power begins to overload his human body. Once Trey recovers, Jason returns the power, ending his brief but memorable comeback. During the events of Power Rangers Turbo, the team goes through a major shift when 4 original members step down: Tommy Oliver, Adam Park, Tanya Sloan, and Catherine Hillard. They feel their mission as Rangers has run its course, and it's time for them to move on with their lives. Each departure opens the door for new heroes, creating one of the biggest transitions in the franchise's history. TJ had already appeared, helping the Rangers before gaining powers. He's brave, responsible, and naturally fits the role of a leader. Ready to retire, Tommy chooses TJ as his successor because of his strength and courage, passing on the Red Turbo Ranger powers and the leadership of the team. Carlos is introduced as a competitive soccer player. Adam watches him act bravely both on the field and in real danger. Convinced of his maturity, Adam selects Carlos for his ability to make smart decisions and for his quick thinking, transferring the Green Ranger powers to him. Ashley appears as a cheerleader and volunteer who helps civilians and shows heart and a willingness to learn. Tanya tests her in dangerous situations and realizes Ashley has natural empathy and courage. Tanya chooses her for her compassion and integrity, transferring the Yellow Ranger powers. Cassie is introduced as a singer and courageous friend who always puts others first. Seeing her loyalty and bravery, Kat chooses Cassie as her successor because of her honorable and loyal nature. Cassie becomes the new Pink Red Turbo Ranger, joining the team as a full member who will continue fighting against any threats that arise. The passing of the mantle takes place in Episode 19 during an official ceremony marking the transition. Kendrix Morgan is the Pink Galaxy Ranger in Power Rangers Lost Galaxy, known for her intelligence and bravery. In Episode 31, she sacrifices herself to stop Psycho Pink from using the Savage Sword, an extremely powerful weapon capable of absorbing the Pink Space Ranger's powers. By destroying the Savage Sword, the resulting explosion kills Kendrix instantly. She becomes the first Ranger in the franchise to die in the line of duty. We even see her spirit briefly communicating with her teammates before passing on. In Episode 32, Corone, formerly Astronema, in Power Rangers in Space, now redeemed, tries to retrieve the Quasar Saber during the Rangers' battle against Trakina. When Corone is attacked and falls from a cliff, Kendrix's spirit appears, hands her a Morpher, and officially passes on the mantle. This is how Corone becomes the new Pink Galaxy Ranger. At the end of the season, when the Rangers return the Quasar Sabers to Marinoi, the energy from the blades revives Kendrix, resulting in an emotional moment. Alex is the original Red Time Force Ranger from the year 3000 and the leader of the team responsible for capturing Ransik. In Episode 1 of Power Rangers Time Force, he's critically injured during battle and presumed dead, leading the other Rangers to take his chronomorpher with them as they travel to the past in pursuit of the villain. Because Alex's DNA is required to activate the Morpher, the team turns to his ancestor from the year 2001, Wes Collins. At first, Wes is directionless in life, but he proves his courage by helping the Rangers even without powers. When the chronomorpher is handed to him, he becomes the new Red Time Force Ranger. At the end of Episode 28, Alex returns alive and attempts to reclaim his position, but his strict leadership style pushes the team away. After a lot of conflict, Alex realizes that Wes is the one who truly inspires the group. In Episode 30, he officially returns the Morpher, allowing Wes to remain the rightful Red Ranger. The transition between Jack Landor's, Sky Tate, and Bridge Carson in Power Rangers SPD is one of the most well-developed in the entire franchise, showing personal growth and evolution within SPD's hierarchy. Jack Landor starts out as the Red Ranger from Episode 1. A natural leader, Jack doesn't follow rules out of authority, but out of empathy. He is reluctant at first, but accepts the position in order to protect vulnerable people, especially after realizing SPD is a real chance to make a difference. Throughout the season, he completes major missions, but also shows discomfort with the organization's rigid structure. In Episode 38, Jack decides to retire voluntarily, stepping down to follow his own path and help communities as a civilian. It's one of the most unusual exits for a Red Ranger, driven not by defeat, but by personal purpose. With Jack's departure, Skylar, Sky, Tate finally gets the opportunity he's wanted from the very beginning. Sky starts out as the Blue Ranger, disciplined, strict, and with a strong sense of hierarchy. His biggest goal is to honor his father, the SPD Red Ranger, who died in the line of duty. But Sky needs to grow before he can take the position. Over the season, he confronts his trauma, learns to balance discipline with empathy, and proves he can lead not just through authority, but through example. In Episode 38, Sky is officially promoted to Red Ranger, fulfilling the dream of his life. With Sky's promotion, the next natural step follows, the replacement of the Blue Ranger. Bridge Carson, the skilled and eccentric Green Ranger, moves up to Blue. From the beginning, Bridge had shown great intelligence and technical abilities, along with unique gifts like his energy sensitivity that saved the team more than once. His promotion also happens in Episode 38, symbolizing his growth and his officially recognized value within SPD. These three transitions, Jack leaving leadership by choice, Sky rising through merit, and Bridge advancing through competence, form one of the most coherent and meaningful evolution arcs in Power Rangers history. Serena was Emily's older sister and the original chosen Yellow Samurai Ranger, trained from a young age to master the Earth symbol. However, as shown in Episode 6, before the team was officially summoned, Serena developed a serious illness that left her unable to fight. This forced the family to make a difficult choice: pass the mantle to Emily, the younger sister, who had never been prepared for such a destiny. Emily takes on the uniform at the beginning of Power Rangers Samurai, becoming the Yellow Ranger who wields the power of Earth. Even insecure and inexperienced, she learns to control the Earth Slicer, pilots the Ape Folding Zord, and shows resilience, slowly revealing deep emotional strength. This replacement doesn't happen because of battle or failure, but out of family necessity. Emily stays on the team to honor Serena, fighting to be worthy of the legacy she inherited. Jaden Shiba begins the season as the Red Samurai Ranger, leader of the team and protector of the fire symbol. He took on this role to keep the enemies away from the true heir of the Shiba clan, his older sister, Lauren Shiba. While Jaden led publicly, Lauren was trained in secret from childhood to master the sealing symbol, the only technique capable of stopping Master Xandred for good. Lauren finally returns in episode 16 of Super Samurai, revealing herself as the true Red Ranger and the first woman to take on that role in the franchise. Jaden recognizes her importance and hands over the position without hesitation. Beyond the power of fire, her mastery of the sealing symbol makes her essential, and she attempts to use the technique against Xandred in episode 19. However, even with her skill, the ability isn't enough to defeat him. Lauren then returns leadership to Jaden, who officially resumes the role of Red Ranger, allowing the team to finish the battle in episode 20, combining their forces to defeat the villain once and for all. The purple Energem had two different wielders in Power Rangers Dino Charge, Albert Smith and Kendall Morgan. Albert first appears in episode 17 as a kind-hearted tour guide from New Zealand. He finds the Energem after saving a woman during an expedition, becoming the very first Purple Ranger. However, Albert quickly realizes that even though he's brave, he isn't ready to face the constant attacks from Sledge's monsters. Afraid of putting innocent people in danger, he gives the Energem back, proving that knowing your limits can also be an act of heroism. In episode 20, Kendall Morgan, the scientist responsible for the team's technology, decides to step in when Sledge captures Keeper. During the rescue, she bonds with the Purple Energem and officially takes on the mantle. With the power of the Plesiosaurus and the Plesiozord, Kendall brings intelligence and strategy to the battlefield, becoming a complete and essential ranger for the team. In Power Rangers Beast Morphers, we learn in the very first episode that Grid Battle Force had officially selected Blaze and Roxy as the candidates for Red and Yellow Rangers. But everything changes when the Evox virus invades the system and corrupts both of them during the morphing process. The real Blaze and Roxy fall into comas, while evil versions, their avatars, are created to serve Evox. With two critical positions suddenly open, Grid Battle Force is forced to act fast. That's when Devin Daniels steps in. He was only at the facility by accident after witnessing the invasion. When the avatars begin attacking, Devin proves his courage by fighting back even without powers. With no other option, Nate activates the Morpher and combines cheetah DNA with Devin, turning him into the new Red Beast Morphers Ranger, taking the position that originally belonged to Blaze. Devin shows speed, focus, and natural leadership, despite never having been trained for it. The Yellow Ranger position is then given to Zoe Reeves, who worked in Grid Battle Force's laundry department. Zoe had actually been rejected as a Ranger candidate, but when everything spirals out of control, Nate, in a desperate moment, uses rabbit DNA and completes the morph, making Zoe the new Yellow Beast Morphers Ranger. With enhanced agility, extreme jumping ability, and quick thinking, she becomes essential to the team, making up for her lack of experience through determination and creativity. The replacement of Blaze and Roxy by Devin and Zoe shows that in Beast Morphers, what defines a Ranger isn't the original selection, it's the courage to step up when everything goes wrong. Both Rangers took on their roles out of necessity, but proved almost immediately that they were exactly where they were meant to be. In Power Rangers Dino Fury, the original Rafcon Rangers were wiped out by the Sporix thousands of years ago. Only their gear survived, the Dino Keys, the Zords, and the Energems, waiting for new worthy wielders. That's how Ollie, Amelia, Izzy, and Javi inherit the legacy of the fallen Rafconian Rangers, each one stepping into the role of a warrior who died in battle. Ollie Akana becomes the Blue Dino Fury Ranger in Episode 1, when the Blue Dino Key reacts to his determined and logical bravery. The original Blue Ranger of Rafcon died defending the Tricerazord, ensuring the key would survive into the future. Ollie takes on this mantle by proving that, even as a skeptic, he always puts lives first. Amelia Jones, also in Episode 1, is chosen by the Pink Dino Key, replacing the Rafcon Pink Ranger, who sacrificed herself trying to stop the Sporix from escaping. Amelia is driven by empathy and a protective instinct, qualities strong enough to trigger the Energem the moment she touches it. She later discovers that she's the daughter of Rafconians, further solidifying her connection to this legacy. Izzy Garcia officially joins the team in Episode 4, when the Green Green Dino Key chooses her during a battle against a Sporix. The original Rafcon Green Ranger was known for her tenacity, something Izzy proves by confronting the monster even before morphing. Her straightforward courage and athletic discipline make her the perfect heir to the Tiger Claw Zord. Javi Garcia, Izzy's brother, becomes the Black Dino Fury Ranger also in Episode 4. The Black Dino Key recognizes him when Javi risks his life to protect Izzy, echoing the spirit of the Rafcon Black Ranger who died defending his teammates. This moment reinforces the central theme of the season. True bravery is rooted in sacrifice. Together, the 4 human rangers honor the legacy of the Rafcon warriors who came before them, keeping alive a tradition built on courage, selflessness, and responsibility.
Trini Kwan, the original Yellow Ranger of the Mighty Morphin team, loses her life in the special Mighty Morphin Power Rangers Once and Always when she sacrifices herself to save her teammates during Robo Rita's attack. But her legacy doesn't end there. Her teenage daughter, Min Kwan, soon steps forward. After learning the truth about her mother's death, Min decides to follow the Ranger path. Even without prior training, Min accepts Trini's Yellow Morpher and officially becomes the new Yellow Ranger.